Hi, my name is Patricia, and I'm going to show you how I am fixing my Halloween decorations. At least part of it anyways. I wish I had, well, let me explain. So these are just 3 of the mini decorations that I had up on my mantle at Halloween time, which was months ago now, but that doesn't really matter. And I was trying to hang a picture stupidly while they were up on the mantle, and every single decoration fell and broke into many pieces. So for example, here we'll start with this guy, my headless horse. Well, he's not a headless horseman. He is well, he's a horseman. Anyway, the poor horse's leg broke off, the tail broke off. I should have, like I was saying, I really should have did a before and after. That would have been a good video. But hey, just getting started. Let's see, this little lovely couple here, her head broke off. I super glued it back together. I'm not sure if his head broke off or not, but many other things on this little figurine statue had broken off. And I think a lot of these are ceramic. The point I'm trying to make is I fixed them in stages. I did my best to, let's see what broke here. It's been a long time and they've been sitting on my table and it's time to clear it off. So his pea coat, or whatever you want to call it, the tail from his coat broke off. I glued it. And you can't really tell. The thing is, I really wanted to salvage these things. And I didn't want to throw away because I really like these Halloween decorations. So I super glued. So that was step 1. There's the dog, one of the dogs. And now I'm going to paint them. Oh, so what I did was after I super glued things together, there were gaps. You know, there were lots of little tiny pieces that just couldn't be fixed, at least with the time and effort and tools that I have. His leg had broken off. So I glued things together, and then to repair the holes, I used this paper mache stuff, this plaster that I've had for years. As I was saying, I finished off the little tiny holes with this plaster. Rigid wrap is what it's called. This is what it looks like. Dougie wants it. This plaster, paper mache, whatever. And I think I've had this for like 10 years, probably more. But hey, found a use for it finally. Fixed my guys. Anyways, enough about that. So I'm gonna paint them now just to blend it in and pack them away for next Halloween. I don't want to say how many months away it is, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to clean things up and move on to the next thing. So let's get started. All right, so I'm back. So what I'm going to do first is, I don't think this one will need to get painted, but my plan is just to go as simple as possible. I have some paints here, some acrylic paints, and these I've also had for years. And I'm going to do black, obviously, on the 2 black statues that got ruined. And then this one I'll have to make a little mix colors together to hopefully match this brown. No big deal. Not trying to be fancy here, just trying to get it done. And I mean, I don't even really have to do this, but I was gonna sand some down. Like I said, this is just this is clean. This is spring cleaning. It is spring. These Halloween decorations have been on my table since October. Well, maybe November. So yeah. This is just a nail file. a metal nail file. I mean, I don't even know how long I'm gonna really do this for. I could do this all night, but I don't want to do it on camera all night. Maybe you would like that. I mean, I don't want to break it again. So, you know, if I were to paint over that just how it is, or when I should be having something to catch all this. That noise in the background are my thirsty dogs drinking water. Good boy, good girl. And Babe's over there. Hi, Babe. Following his lead with the old projecting and, you know, the old projecting lead. 2 projects on cars. Many projects to be done. And, you know, I might want to use this nail file for other things, so I may not go to town on this. I mean, I'm not trying to be in an art contest here. All I'm trying to do is just fix my statues so I could put them up again for years to come. Yeah, this is probably the biggest chunk that I would have to file down. But you know what? I might just go ahead and paint it, because the more I file it down, the weaker it's going to get. There go the dogs. Hi, puppy. We've had one doggy, one doggy who is a treeing walker coonhound. Her name is Sierra. We've had her for a couple years, and we just got her a buddy, and we named him Shadow, although he has many other names that I like to call him. Not bad ones. He is a pointer, and he is a monster. So, maybe we'll make a video about them someday. All right, back to work. You know what, I think I'm just going to start painting. And it's not that I don't have, you know, patience for this, but the whole point is just to get it done. Patience. At this point, you know, I think it took, let me show you the hardest part. I wish I would have videoed this whole thing. I mean, I ended up having to file down, I don't know if you can see the seam where it got glued together, both of his legs. This whole base was off. And it was very hard to put back together. I was surprised. Oh goodness, there go the dogs. So I had to, there's a light. Here's a light. So there's, within this statue, there is a tube that connects the wire to this very cool light. And anyway, the tube was going through the leg, and it just would not fit. So I think I ended up cutting off part of the outer tube, filing down the leg. I had to do a few little minor adjustments before I could actually get this thing back together. So anyway, it was probably like $40. I didn't want to. Hey, can you stop? Stop. I wanted to save my statue. All right, let's get to painting. Okay, doggies, that's enough. All right, so I've got I'm going to start with my black paint here. Oh, I need to choose a paintbrush. That's important. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint, because actually I've learned that this paint goes a long way. Acrylic paint, I believe. I think it kind of dries quickly. I have to be careful. Anyways, I've got some paintbrushes here, and I'm going to choose one that I think is going to be easiest for me. on this project. We'll start by painting the horse's hair. So I hope this black matches. I'm pretty sure it will. So I think I'm going to choose this one. And I'm just going to get straight to work. Let's see how it goes on. You know what, there's not a whole lot of great light in here. I might have to put another light on. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that looks pretty good, actually. Let's paint a little more, and I'll show you. It's working out pretty nicely. I knew this would work. I'm excited. You know, you just have projects around the house that you just really want to get to, but, you know, between work or school, whatever you got going on in your life, you just cannot get to them. And when you finally get to them, you're happy. Yeah, I definitely need more light. So I'm gonna go turn on something. All right, let's see if that helps. I think that helps a lot, actually. This isn't a professional studio or anything. This is my kitchen, or dining room, actually. So, see, this paint really goes a long way. I just barely dabbed it. And I'm gonna go a long way with this paint. It's gonna be great. I love it. I painted a mask with this paint. A mask that I had made in college, probably in 2003. It is now 2025. So 22 years ago I made this mask, and it's kind of weird. It really makes no sense, but I was in an art class, sculpture class, and I enjoyed sculpting, doing stuff, random stuff, and they asked us to make a mask. And anyway, I made the mask, like a clay mask, I think it is, and it was just, you know, tan colored for 20 something years, and now it's black with this paint. So these are just little projects that, you know what, might as well share. Here, I want you to see, I mean, because it's really fun to paint. Thinking of Bob Ross. I'm not a painter like he is. Maybe I could be, I don't know. I'm gonna have to practice. I hope you can see that. I'm not gonna get up again. I'm just gonna keep going. Dogs are happily chewing a bone right now. Well, one dog is. I don't know what the other one is doing. He's probably okay. Being good, I mean. The boy dog has a lot of work, has a lot of training to be done. Girl dog was a handful in the beginning. She's still a little bit of a handful, but she's really become a good girl. A lot of leash training, a lot of hours, her and I walking, and then her and her daddy running on at the park. So it really takes a couple of years for these puppy dogs to learn the ways. But I think it's going to be good in the long run. So I'm painting this thing, but it might be a little dark, more of a pitch black than it's already here, but that's okay. I'll just kind of blend it in. Like I said, this isn't gonna be like on some art display. This is just for my own enjoyment to have these decorations, you know. I fixed them and I'm proud of it. So, lesson learned, I will not try to be lazy again and try to hang a painting while I have about 15 statues on the mantle. I'll take them down first. They literally fell on the floor and broke into hundreds of pieces. Heads, arms. It was a Halloween scene. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I laughed. I was disappointed. And it took a while to put them back together, but I did. It's fine. These probably suffered the worst of it. Nothing got thrown away. I think everything was able to be salvaged. So maybe I'll make a video when everything's up again. Halloween. Let's see. That's pretty good. I guess we could paint a little more of his inside of his leg here. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. Maybe I'll inspect it later, but I'm just basically trying to make more space on the table. And yeah, maybe I'll put some flowers on the table or something instead of having Halloween decorations on the table. I mean, I could leave them up all year, no problem, but I just want to get this project done. Some of the areas I'm painting are probably just the plaster. When I was plastering things together, it's probably just lighter or whiter because of the plaster. And you know what, that's no big deal, but it's fine. I mean, I guess I could get some of these little spots that I had glued. But it's really not, I'm not concerned about the seams that are glued together. I just want to get like the big plaster parts painted. And I will get carried away. When it comes to painting stuff, it's really fun. So you kind of get carried away, but try not to. I think a big part of it too is that the lighting is coming from that angle. And I really should probably have lighting from this other angle, but that's fine. Maybe I'll turn on the third light. Okay. Little plaster spot, that's fine. Not the end of the world. Alright, we'll get his tail. Looking so much better. I just didn't think to video, you know, any of this. But you know what? There's a lot of things you can't video. I just had a thought. I should probably get the glasses with the camera in them. Maybe that'll make things more interesting. See a different perspective, you know, see the actual perspective of the person experiencing the thing, the content. Anyways. So glad this is getting done. This is a very much a relief that I'm getting to this. I'm glad I chose this brush. It's working out pretty nicely. And see, with the plaster and the way that this statue, figurine, whatever, is sculpted or made, it didn't really need to be sanded down. You can kind of tell, or it just kind of blends into his tail, for instance, and then the foot. It doesn't really, the leg, you know, it's not going to make a big difference when it's sitting on my mantle, you know. This is just a quick little fixer-upper here. And hey, you know, maybe somebody will say, gee, what am I going to do when these things have broken into a bunch of pieces? Well, I guess they're garbage. No, not garbage. You can glue them together. You can use your old paper mache plaster kit to patch them up, paint over them. Of course, if you have all of those things, that's the thing. It's like, you gotta go buy the paint, you gotta go buy this, gotta go buy that. But if you like doing little arts and crafts and things like that, or you get like a sudden urge to be artsy, then you might have this stuff already lying around that you haven't gotten to use. And now I'm using it. You never know. We get ideas from each other all the time. Well, I guess I could paint the back there. There you go. I should be wearing a headlamp. Might help. It's okay. Right, so we've got tail painted, we've got leg. What else was there on this guy? I think we might be done with this guy. For the mane, we got the mane painted. I don't think I'm going to paint anything else. I think we're going to move on to the next statue. Well, yeah, that's fine. Let's just move this guy aside. Move on to Mr. Bones here. Skeleton man. He's playing that fiddle, I think. He's very cool. I got him at Orchard Supply. They were closing. This was years ago. And I noticed this was the last Halloween decoration there. I don't know why I was there. Maybe because they were closing, but I was there for some reason and saw this guy. And I thought, oh, that is cool. So, had to have him. He was the only one left. He was the only thing left of Halloween, so I bought him. I think it was like $10. And when he broke, I was devastated. No, I'm just kidding. I was, bothered. But yeah, I think his head broke right there. So I glued his head back on. And now I'm just gonna paint the parts that are white from the plaster. I think this black is matching quite nicely, actually. Really, really nicely. I mean, it could just be the poor lighting, but be careful, I didn't say the S word. Something else lighting. Anyway. I might not have needed to paint that part. I think you can say whatever you want. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just be careful. Not used to talking to myself so much. Damn. Hey. Hey. No. You want to be painted? Doggy? That's enough. No. Get back. Get back. Come on. Doggies needed a bone. Hey! You're gonna hear a lot about it. You guys each have a bone. So I don't understand what the problem is. They want all the bones. Each. They want to have. They don't want the other dog to have a bone. Hey, doggy? No. This is what happens when you throw out your back and you can't walk your dogs for a minute. You get a little rambunctious. And how did I throw out my back, you may wonder? Just living life, walking the dogs, working, and probably the bed that we have. Sleeping in a, I think I could say shitty, in a shitty bed. It's too soft. And we're gonna fix that soon. Maybe I'll make a video about that. Anyway. Yep, we're in the market for a new bed. So, oh, I found a little hole that I missed, but that's okay. You can't really tell. I'm not going to worry about it. This is not for a grade. This is not for a art display. This is simply fixing something that you broke. Might have to fast forward some of this video because I'm sure it's boring. Alright. Mixing that brown for those guys is going to be fun. If you get just the right color. It doesn't matter. It can be a different color. Doggy? We were good with one dog. We got her trained pretty well. She matured. But I thought, you know, she really loves other dogs. She needs a friend. So we got him from the pound. Everybody's from the pound. Always a dog from the pound. There's, I mean, yeah, you can breed dogs and everything like that, but there are so many dogs. This is not a good commercial for this round. Okay, everything's fine, Doggy. There were so many good dogs at the pound that just need a little love. He's playing with his own bone. But now he's not, of course. Anyway. So many good dogs at the pound that need love. Cats too, you know, other animals, I'm sure. I've always adopted dogs from the pound. And they just turn out to be your best friend in the world. And it's really sad when they leave us, but, you know, for that short time, they're just your life. And he has a little bit of work to go. This girl right here, this is Sierra. She's chewing nicely on her bone over here. There's another bone. She had her moments when we got her. She liked to bite. Not in a mean way, but in a playful way. And she was a lot younger, so she had the little puppy shark teeth. And her playful bites were kind of painful. So she went through her phase and she pulled on the leash a lot. And now she's a lot better. She's like a breeze to walk. But then this monster over here. Anyway, Shadow. What is that? Shadow is learning how to walk on the leash. Maybe I'll show you. That might be a good video. It's like a circus when we go out there. He's probably the reason my back is out. But it'll be okay, and I'll work with him even more, and he'll get better. So, you know. Never give up on dogs. They're going to be a pain in the ass sometimes, but it's like they say, no bad dog, you know. There's a lot of dogs out there, I'm sure, have a lot of traumas, and they need a lot more attention and a lot more work than some people are willing to put. But I don't know. I highly recommend getting a dog from the pound as opposed to buying an expensive purebred dog or half-bred or whatever. Stop. It's just my thoughts. See, they're quiet now. It must be like what kids are like. I don't have kids. These are my kids. Our kids. My boyfriend and my kids. Wanted kids. Just didn't happen. Hey! Hey! I just saw him biting her leg. Sometimes doggies, they have their own way of telling each other stop or play or whatever. Sometimes they get a little bit out of hand and they need extra guidance. So you can't just get a dog and expect them to be perfect right off the bat, even if they are from a breeder. Dogs require a lot of training, and I'll admit I do not have the perfect way of training. That's probably why my back is out. And I don't follow all of the methods that, other people do. I do what works best for me and the dog. Us and the dog. So, dogs can learn many different ways. I need more paint now. There's not just one right way to train a dog. I'm sure there's not one right way to raise kids either, probably. I wouldn't know. Okay. Well, it's looking pretty good. I can always paint more later if I really want to. I just don't think it's necessary. Well, I probably put too much black paint down there. It's okay. Figure something out for it. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits on this guy and let him dry. And then by tomorrow, I can pack them up, or, wrap them up and put them away. And, yeah, that project will be done. So let's put this guy, I'm not sure if I spilled or if I painted on the bottom, so I'm just going to lay him on this, keep him on this, and we're going to mix a color that matches this brown. Maybe, it's not the end of the world. I don't really even have to paint that part, but I will, I think the rest is fine. Nothing really needs to be painted on this, except for his feet, his legs. So it looks like we have a brown that needs to be darkened. So I have a brown, I think. Real brown, that's what this is called. We also have burnt umber. I think I'm gonna go with the real brown because it doesn't have the tint of red that the burnt umber has. So I've never opened this before. It's still good. I'm excited. So I'm gonna open this up. And I'm gonna mix it with the black because that will make it a little bit darker. So I put some black paint, too much black paint in there, but actually that's gonna work out. So I'm just gonna shake it a little bit. And I'm just guessing, of how much brown to put in. We can always add more brown, but I really don't want to try to add black. So I probably should have mixed with the other end, but that's fine. These aren't that expensive, so I could buy them anytime. Plus I've had them for years, so I think this is going to be too dark. Lighting's not great, but that's okay. So it could use, so I'm going to end up, it's going to be too dark, but I'm also going to end up with using too much paint. But that's okay. Let's just do this. This is just a fixer-upper, and I can always buy more of this paint. I don't do that many projects, unfortunately. But I'm going to try to start. Any project that I have, maybe I'll video it. I mean, that is looking pretty close to the color of this guy's jacket, so. It's looking pretty good. I'm just going to paint it. I'm just going to go for it. Now, if it looks totally different, that's fine. It does look a little bit darker, but you know what? You can't really tell. Looks pretty darn good. I mean, I could add some more brown to make it, or I could just paint his boots all that color. But you know what? Maybe this will give it some character so that I can say, oh, I remember that time that I dropped all my Halloween decorations on the floor, the hard floor, and they broke. And I fixed them. I'll say, whoa, I won't do that again. You know what? I probably would do it again. Fixing them has been kind of fun, but no, I'm not going to do that again. You know, what if I were to just paint his whole boot? I don't know. I don't think I want to paint his whole boot. I could just paint one boot. How about that? Paint one boot. It's just that it doesn't blend in quite as well as I was thinking. And it's not going to be terrible if I paint his boot. I mean, I probably won't be able to sell this for as mint condition. No, definitely not mint condition, but wouldn't be able to sell this like, oh yeah, here's a collector's item. These things broke. And I fixed it. But hey, you never know, I could sell it. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just trying to not throw it away. Fix it. I'm just painting one boot. That's fine. and nobody's gonna even care or notice. That's great. That looks great. I think it looks fine. So I'm just inspecting to see if there's any other part of this guy that I might want to paint, which I just see one right here in the front, and I know it's a different color brown, but I might still paint it because I think it'll look better anyways. That's fine. I might regret it. I don't know. Or I might not even notice it. I don't know. If it was just a little bit lighter, then I just have to use more brown, and I don't want to really waste paint just for little things, you know. So I think it's fine. I don't really see any other major parts that I should paint. I think it's fine. I'll do one last inspection of everything. So that one looks good. We'll put our paint stuff aside. This guy looks pretty good. I mean, good enough to go on the shelf, you know? Looks pretty damn good. I mean, I already kind of got rid of the black, so I wouldn't really be going backwards anyways. And this one looks good too. Alright, so there you have it. I'm just gonna wait for these to dry, and tomorrow I'll be wrapping them up, putting them away, and there you have it. That's how you paint your previously broken but mended pieces for to preserve them and extend their life. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.